Imagine a place that tells a story spanning centuries, where culture and nature intertwine to create something truly extraordinary. That's the beauty of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. I'm Abigail, and this is Global Treasures, the podcast that covers the history, travel tips, and legends surrounding one of the 1,248 World Heritage Sites each episode. These places have been identified as having universal cultural or natural significance that is so exceptional that it transcends national boundaries and is of importance to present and future generations. Welcome to Season 3. Together, we'll explore the 27 sites that UNESCO added in 1980. Thank you for listening to Global Treasures. I appreciate all of your support, and you can continue to support us by subscribing at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, or whatever platform you're listening from. You can also follow me on TikTok and Facebook. I'd also be incredibly grateful if you would leave a 5-star review if you like what you hear. Let's take a step back in time together to the 1700s. Picture the most bustling, vibrant city in Latin America. I'm guessing you would think of an urban hub in the center of the country, not a coastal city that's tucked away in the mountains of southeastern Brazil. Today, we know it as Ouro Preto, but the explorers and prospectors of the 18th century called it Vila Rica, which translates to the rich village. Ouro Preto was the very first site in Brazil to be designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site due to its role as a time capsule of Baroque splendor and a gold rush that changed the world. The story of Ouro Preto began in 1695 when a small stream studded with gold was discovered. By 1711, several small settlements came together to form Vila Rica. The name we use for the site today, Ouro Preto, actually means black gold. This wasn't just a figure of speech. The gold found here was, in fact, covered in a thin layer of iron oxide, giving it a dark appearance. During the 18th century, Ouro Preto was one of the most populated cities in the Americas. At one point, its population was actually higher than New York City's. The wealth created here was astonishing. An estimated 800 tons of gold were sent to Portugal during the 1700s alone. That doesn't even account for the massive amounts of gold that were either smuggled out or stayed in the city to create the breathtaking ornamentation of its many churches. Ornamentation is the use of gold or stained glass windows to represent religious scripture and inspire those who follow the faith and attend the church due to its physical beauty. It's also important to note that gold wasn't the only mineral of value found here. Ouro Preto also has hematite and dolomite, often used in jewelry. Due to the city being so financially affluent and physically remote, it became a draw for European artists and a breeding ground for a unique artistic movement known as Barroco Mineiro. Interestingly, an edict from the Portuguese crown prohibited the establishment of formal religious orders, such as convents or monasteries, within the mining region. It's believed this was done to keep a tighter grip on the gold. But all of this said, who do you think came to save the day? Your everyday, run-of-the-mill citizens of the town. These groups competed to build the most magnificent churches to show their devotion. This led to these churches housing incredible, high-quality art and architecture. Most notably, the Church of São Francesco of Assisi by Aleja Gino. He's considered to be Brazil's greatest colonial sculptor. The church also includes the gold ornamentation that I referenced before. By the late 19th century, the gold mines were running dry. However, the city's legacy was already cemented as the symbolic center of the Brazilian independence movement. In 1789, it was the site of the Inconfidência Mineira, an unsuccessful attempt to separate from Portugal, inspired by the American Revolution. The movement's leader, Tiradentes, was executed as an example to others. Today, he's considered to be a national hero. You can actually visit the Inconfidência Museum, which is housed in the city's former prison, a testament to the city's ability to repurpose its historic buildings. Fast forward to today, as the federal government has made it a priority to protect the town. In order to keep it safe from air pollution and damage, a highway has been built around the city rather than through it, and the bus terminal is on the outskirts in order to keep the center pristine. Now that you have some context surrounding the history of Ouro Preto, and hopefully are excited to visit, let's talk about the logistics, because jetting off to destinations near and far requires extensive planning. I'll be sure to include some links in the show notes, per usual, to help make planning your trip easier, from transportation to your hotel stay. Before you leave, be sure to check visa requirements, because those requirements can and do change frequently. People traveling from certain countries may also be required to show proof of funds in a bank account through bank statements in order to enter the country, along with a visa as well. If you're flying in from another country, you'll want to land at Belo Horizonte Airport. From there, you can take a taxi ride that should take a little under 2 hours. I wouldn't recommend public transportation such as buses, and I would urge caution if you decide to take one. Pickpocketing and petty crime can be a concern. In terms of places to stay, there are plenty of hotel options, bed and breakfasts, and very inexpensive homestay options. It's likely that the hotels you will stay in will be buildings that are hundreds of years old. I personally find that very charming. The cobblestone streets of Ouro Preto are incredibly steep and uneven. If you struggle with mobility, keep this in mind, as walking around the city can be a serious workout. Make sure you wear comfortable shoes. If you choose to rent a car, you can find parking relatively cheap, but walking is the best way to see it all. Or you can consider using a rideshare option, as most are available in Brazil. Make sure to bring a portable phone charger. Between the architecture and the mountain views, you'll be taking photos all day. Now, I'll name some of the must-see or more popular attractions. There's the Mina de Passagem. This is the world's largest gold mine open to the public. You'll come to appreciate what it took to dig up that gold. You can also visit the Mineralogy Museum. Given the town's mining roots, this is a top-notch destination for science fans. And of course, the many churches. You cannot miss the minor basilica of Our Lady of the Pillar, which is adorned in gold. Finally, there's the Governor's Palace. This historic building now serves as a renowned school. Despite all of the museums and religious institutions, Ouro Preto has a young energy thanks to the local university based here. If you want to experience the city at its most vibrant, visit during Carnival, which is usually February or March. It's one of the most famous street parties in Brazil, though you should avoid it if you hate crowds. If you decide to visit during that time of the year, you can expect bands, parades, and lots of dancing. It can be favorably compared to Mardi Gras. This is a similar celebration held in New Orleans, in the state of Louisiana, in the United States. For the ghost hunters out there, locals claim the city is haunted by the spirits of the 18th century miners who perished in those dark tunnels of the surrounding mountains. It does have a spooky air about it at night. Surprisingly, there aren't any ghost tours offered that I could find. However, you'll find plenty of private cultural walking tours. When you get hungry, look for the national dish, feijoada. This is a hearty bean and meat stew, usually made with beef or pork, served with rice, greens, and sometimes potatoes. You'll find regional variations across the city's many restaurants. Generally speaking, you'll find most of the dishes in this area are rich and hearty, though of course, you will find fish and even pasta if you so choose. You won't run out of places to eat. Just a few more tips to make you a more savvy traveler. The currency is the Brazilian real, and Portuguese is the official language. While tourism is a major part of the economy, English and Spanish are not universally spoken, so have a translation app ready, or learn a few common phrases in Portuguese. In terms of the weather, it gets very hot and humid in the summer, so make sure you wear SPF or wear clothing with built-in SPF. Be prepared for rain if you visit in December, January, or February. Also make sure to bring insect repellent. Whether you decide to travel to Ouro Preto for the Baroque art, the revolutionary history, or the imperial topaz, wandering through this atmospheric colonial town truly allows you to revisit the past. I can promise you, Ouro Preto is a destination that will stay with you long after you've climbed its final hill. Thank you for listening to Global Treasures. Join me next time when I'll cover yet another one-of-a-kind World Heritage Site. Until then, keep exploring, keep wondering, and keep treasuring the remarkable diversity of our world's heritage.